Yo, what is going on, guys? Randall Thor 19, the man with the million, back again with another video. This time it's going to be my review for Skylar and Plux Adventure on Clover Island. So it's going to be the return of Ranzini Spotlight. I've been busy with finals last couple weeks, but we're going to go hard at some of these indie games, spotlighting the good ones, the bad ones, and anything in between. So Skylar and Plux Adventure on Clover Island is published by Grip Digital, developed by Right Nice Games, and it is a revival type game of the 3D platformer genre that was pretty prevalent during the PS2 eras. It's got playful gadgets, a la like Ratchet and Clank, Jak and Daxter, and a very, very lighthearted story. So let's talk about what I thought of this game. So when I first saw the trailer for this, I was immediately intrigued because I'm a big fan of the 3D platformers, especially Jak and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank. There's even kind of some ukulele in this, right? So I'm like, cool, I could go for a game like this because it has been a while since I played one. And I have to say, I had a great time playing this game. Of course, that's not to say it doesn't have its flaws, because it clearly does. But let's talk about let's talk about the basic story setup first. So you play Skylar. Plux is the little bird that is with you. You don't have a memory of what's happened to you. You wake up in this evil robot screen named Control. He basically caught you and he wiped your memory. You escape from the ship. You land up on this island, and Plux, he helps you in your journey. The whole point is to get these fuses so you can go fight Control, and that's pretty much the basic premise. It's about the simple stories you can get. It's lighthearted. There's some kind of corny dialogue to it, but hey, it is what it is. But it has all the basic tropes of all the platforming type games. You have your basic attack with X, you have a spin attack with Y, you can double jump and then extend with the spin attack. Along the way, you pick up gadgets to help you solve some of the obstacles the game sets for you. So the game is basically divided into 3 different sections. You have this first section where this clip is from. It's kind of the jungle section, right? This is basically stuff that deals with platforming stuff, right? And the game never really kind of outstays its welcome, because in the amount of time you'll play this, it's only going to last you 3 to 4 hours. It is not a long game, so it does not stay its welcome, but it does change up the formula a little bit. So in this level, you'll deal with a lot of platforming things. You go and you collect these little gems, which the gems you use to then unlock some of the creatures that Control has locked up in the area. You free them. Once you free a certain amount of them, the elder of the area will award you with a nice little heart. Extra hearts. As you see, I have more hearts than I did before. Now, this is the second area. Looks a lot different than the first area, so I appreciate the artwork and the visual style to make things look different. And then the gameplay evolves as well. So in this first area, like I said, it was all about platforming and getting through it. In the second area, they introduced this time mechanic. So you get this ability to kind of slow down time or reverse time to have things that were there but aren't there anymore to kind of complete the level. So I kind of like that switch up, and then it even changes further in the third level where you get like a magnetic arm to help you move things. So it keeps it fresh on that regard, and I enjoyed platforming and getting all the collectibles and trying to find all the different things that I could do in the game, right? But of course, it does have some negatives. The story, very basic. The voice acting, while good, you can tell they put some effort to it, is kind of corny, right? The frame rate, though, ooh, bad, the frame rate. Sometimes when you move the camera, the frame rate will take a major hit. It is definitely not locked, which is a shame. But other than those features, I think the game is charming, actually. I enjoyed playing it for the 4 hours. And it kind of preys on the nostalgia that a lot of people have for these type of games that played when you were younger. This game currently is on or goes for $14, but on the Xbox, because it's available on PS4 and PC as well. On Xbox, you can currently get it for $10, and for that price, for $10, I recommend this game. I think this is a worthy entry into. It's kind of like an entry-level 3D platformer. Obviously, nothing is really difficult in the game, right? That's one of the complaints I have. There's no kind of challenge in the game. The combat is very basic. You'll fight the same kind of 3 enemies all game. Those little small robots that you see, and the ones that shoot missiles at you, and they add one with the machine gun later. But nothing to really talk home about. The combat's the same. You fight the same enemies. But I still liked the different varying places you visit. I liked the kind of... I just like the 3D platform aspect. I guess that's because you don't really get a lot of games like this anymore. So I like that. It preyed on my nostalgia. I fell for it. But for $10, 4 hours, I mean, you can make it longer if you go get all the achievements and all the collectibles, which we'll talk about right now. So the achievements and all the stuff in the game, you can get an easy 1,000. I'm not sure if it's a platinum on PlayStation. However, you do have to find all 50 of the locked up prisoners. Some of them are hidden pretty well, some of them aren't. But for the most part, you can get a fairly easy 700, 800 points in the game, and almost all the trophies except one in a good 4 hours, because that's how long it took me to get to the final boss. Now, there's only one boss fight, and that is quite disappointing. I actually kind of thought the game was continue on, but it didn't. It kind of, there's those 3 areas to play through, and that's pretty much it. And so far, this section here, the second level with the time mechanic, which you collect your gadgets. So the first level, you'll collect the jetpack, which you can use to reach higher places. The second level, you'll collect this time mechanic to kind of slow down time. And the third level, you can collect a magnetic arm to do things. So each level, you get something new. Yeah, I like the game a lot, actually. I recommend it for $10, especially if you're looking for a game like this. I think it has a lot of charm, despite its shortcomings, obviously the frame rate and things like that. I actually kind of hope that they make this into a franchise, because I would like to see a sequel that has better written dialogue, a better story, and improvements on the frame rate side, because I think they have something here. Because even despite everything I said wrong with the game, it is still an enjoyable experience. I still had a really good time playing the game. Now, of course, if you aren't a fan of these type of platformers, then you won't like it as well. But this might be a good game for kids to introduce them into the genre, because there's nothing hard about it. The story is kind of written for children. They do a lot of those lame jokes that us older gamers would find, lame. But I think this would be a good game to play with your kids and have them explore this long forgotten genre. But anyways, guys, that's my review. I'm gonna give the game a 7.5. Despite all of its shortcomings, I think the game is well worth playing. I enjoyed my time with it. I think it is worth the $10 that is currently on sale for right now. So if you're jonesing for a platformer, pick it up. Hey, if you liked the video, hit that like button. Consider subscribing for more content, as we have Rans in these spotlights and a whole bunch of other videos in the pipeline. I will see everybody later. Peace.